Brought to you by patreon.com/inspireddisorder and inspireddisorder.com/audible.
What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Swipe Up, the 103rd episode of the show where I share some of my favorite posts from Instagram. Let's get it started with a blast from the past. This would be my second video game. Well, I guess technically my third video game system. When I was a young child, I had the Atari. I had the original Atari, and then I had the original Nintendo, the NES. And then not until after high school did I get myself a PlayStation, the PlayStation 1, 25 years ago. It's insane. Well, actually, yeah. So it must have been out for like 5 years by the time I finally got a PlayStation. Yeah, the original PlayStation. And then I went from PlayStation, and then I went to the original Xbox, and then I think maybe I got one more Xbox after that, and then that was it. And then I was just paying for Xbox Premium or Gold or whatever just so I could watch Netflix on it. It just, video games became too much of a distraction for other things I wanted to do. But the PlayStation was amazing, man. The first, or maybe not the first disc-based video game system, but it was the most popular, and also had the ability to play music CDs on it. Also, you could take the video games from your PlayStation and play them in your CD player if you wanted to just listen to the music of the video games, which is something that I didn't do because it was I didn't have a PlayStation at the time, but it was something in high school during art class. My fellow art students, they would bring in their video games and listen to video game music while they painted, which was one of the cool things about art class, is that we were allowed to just listen to our own music on our headphones. Yeah. Anyway, PlayStation 25 years ago makes me feel old, so thanks for that, World Star. Appreciate you. Now moving on to the new world we're living in, the new Comedy Store set up out in L.A. This is a podcast that they're filming, but they also do stand-up from this window. I'm not completely familiar with this podcast. It's a No Sir podcast, I think it's called. But it's a cool setup that they have. There was recently, Spoil the Beans did their Farewell to L.A. podcast there. And then a lot of just stand-up comedians doing stand-up in the window. But they also have a live video feed that goes out to the patio. I think it's a really nice setup. I enjoy seeing these businesses actually try to evolve and try to maintain, as opposed to some comedy clubs that are just pretending like the virus isn't a real thing and just trying to be rebellious and break the laws, and then end up getting shut down, which I know a lot of comedy clubs in San Diego that happen to. But it's cool to see the Comedy Store. I'd really love to go to the Comedy Store and experience some comedy in this way, just because it's a historical moment, you know? So yeah, really cool stuff from the Comedy Store there. Let's move on to BBC here, covering the devastation in Oregon. I mean, all across the West Coast, from San Diego up to Oregon and Washington, there are massive fires. Surprise, surprise, climate change is a real thing. Surprise, surprise, the world is burning. Surprise, surprise, another Republican. Kind of the worst things of humanity happen when Republicans tend to be in office, whether it's something like 9/11, or, you know, something like 200,000 people dying of a pandemic that could have been avoided. I mean, there's a lot of examples of other countries around the world that handled this situation exponentially better than the worthless people we have in charge now that are just stealing everything they can from our people. You know, just giving all of our tax dollars to all of the big corporations and making sure we fund war. Meanwhile, entire neighborhoods, entire towns are being destroyed. Just crazy. I mean, just so many of the photos that you've seen with like the red sky and the orange sky, like the sky has just been insane. But to see all of the actual fire damage is crazy too. Just insanity. A lot of people are fleeing. A lot of people are trying to get out of LA for a lot of reasons. I mean, just trying to get away from the coast, I would imagine, in general, for a lot of reasons. But yeah, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. So stay safe, everybody. And, you know, if you're going to go outside, maybe wear a mask because of the horrible air quality. Unless you're one of those people that think this is a hoax, too. If you think the virus is a hoax, like, you know, they just paid 200,000 people to disappear. They paid Khabib Nurmagomedov's dad to die. They convinced all these businesses to go along with the fact that people getting sick. You know, climate change is clearly a hoax too. This isn't really happening. They just dimmed the light on the bulb that is hung above the flat Earth. Wear a mask because air quality is bad for a lot of reasons. So moving on now to just some insane things that people are doing. This dude, Sebastian, surfed. It was a 115-foot wave. Just insane. I mean, look how small he is. That is just ridiculous. I would surf. I've been surfing a bunch of times as a kid. The times I visited Hawaii. And when you ride a wave, it feels a lot bigger than it is when you're riding it. So I can't imagine riding a wave that's larger than most skyscraper. Well, I don't know most skyscrapers, but a very large wave. Just insane. But anyway, now last but not least, more of the evolution of comedy. This is I really love this picture anyway. But it's a picture of Mark Norman doing stand-up on a rooftop, which, if you're looking for some fun YouTube content, subscribe to Mark Norman on YouTube. He has a special that just came out called Out to Lunch, which is amazing. Probably one of my favorite specials that's come out this year. And he's also just doing stand-up everywhere. There's like him doing just stand-up on the streets to random people, which is a lot of fun as well. But this is him doing a stand-up set on a rooftop. Just an amazing view. I mean, if you are a comedy fan, you do go out to see these guys, one, make sure you wear a mask, but also it's kind of you're participating in a pretty historic thing, you know, because you're not really going to see this once things get back to some semblance of normality. Then, you know, they're not going to be doing these shows in parks and rooftops. Not that these are great venues to be doing comedy shows, but it is what it is. So good on Mark Norman for keeping, you know, doing what he can to do his artwork. But let's do some shout-outs and get out of here, shall we? Shout out to World Star, The Comedy Store, Troy Conrad's, No Sir Pod, The Funny Carmen, Ron Funches. Shout out to BBC News, Big Wave _surfing, Sebastian Surfs, Javier.Goya. Shout out to Mark Norman and JT Can Shoot. And shout out most of all, shout out to you. Sign up now over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder so you can binge the full week of this show, The Ray Taylor Show, ad-free. All 7 episodes, no ads. Binge it now in both audio and video versions. You can also get a coupon code to save a bunch of money on The Many Faces if you want to start buying some of my artwork. If you like Photoshops, you can download the raw Photoshop files for all the Photoshops I do. It's only $3 a month, so sign up now over at patreon.com/Inspired Disorder. Also get 2 free audiobooks through Audible when you sign up through my link, inspireddisorder.com/Audible. It's 2 free audiobooks just for signing up. You also get a new free book every month Audible originals are available, guided wellness programs, news, so much more. Sign up now and get yourself 2 free audio books through my link, inspireddisorder.com/audible. New episodes come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week ad-free over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. Follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show, and have yourself a great day. Peace out!